All right, y'all, let's talk about the completionist principle. I think that's what it's called. So the completionist principle, I think in the best way that I can explain it, because I am not a scientist or a psychologist or anything like that, it's kind of like your brain has all these different tabs open, just filled with like the different tabs of your life, like your job, your family, your friends, that kind of thing. But one of those tabs is the ACOTAR series, and it's not finished, and we haven't heard anything about it. And because of the way that the SJM verse is set up, we have to read other books in order to gather our evidence and to kind of see these characters again in the case of House of Flame and Shadow. So the ACOTAR series is taking up CPU on our servers, so to speak, and it's fucking with our device's ability to do anything or to be normal about this. This is actually the reason why Five Nights at Freddy's is so popular, because there's always just enough little threads to make the puzzle pieces that make this franchise work not fit together a certain way, which is why you end up having, fucking Matt Pat making like 30 videos about it before he retires, and then like his successors continually making videos about it. And then when things are complete, we get like a psychological boost from that. Like, oh, look, it's finished. It's why like we love to-do lists. We love to check things off our to-do lists, because that is our brain's way of saying, oh, that thing is done. We can't do that with ACOTAR because it's not done. Like it's never done. And on top of that, we now have news that we're not even going to hear an announcement about this until 2025. Like, I'm going to be 35 years old before I hear a word about the new ACOTAR book. Like, Sarah, Bloomsbury, why? But anyway, this is why like this particular ship war and this particular series is killing us, especially because in considering this, like Throne of Glass, like as someone who is not really connecting with Throne of Glass in the same way that everybody else is, I think it might be because it's finished. Like there's not really like any debates to be had about Throne of Glass. Like it's done. And then Crescent City, like it's book 3 of 4 rather than like 3 or 4 books and maybe a novella or 2 to go. Like it's a different kind of completionist principle. Like with House of Flame and Shadow, we have a lot of things kind of resolved because Sarah's doing that thing that she does where she kills the villain before the series ends, which is a whole other monster. I will deal with that another day. But Crescent City feels complete in a way that ACOTAR, up until we get the series finished, never will, because ACOTAR kind of like ends on a cliffhanger. It ends on a cliffhanger for Akasif, and especially for House of Flame and Shadow. Like, we are boned, y'all. And this is just our brains falling victim to the completionist principle. Like, we want to finish this, but our brains are continually spinning about it, which is how fandom communities exist and theorist communities exist, which is good because I love doing theory stuff. I love being part of theorist communities and putting shit out in the world like that. But at the same time, like this particular silence is driving us all nuts. ACOTAR is FNAF for older, like, women in their 20s and 30s. There, I said it, y'all. We're all secretly FNAF girlies.